Hey everyone, it's Jay. So, here's a question to kick things off. Do you remember your first chocolate bar? I was obsessed as a kid, and honestly, that sweet tooth never left. I've even tracked chocolate's trail from Mackinac Island in Michigan to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and even San Francisco. Each place has its own chocolate culture.
That's dedication to the craft, Jay. I think chocolate is practically a universal language, whether it's fudge on Mackinac Island, a Hershey's Kiss, or Ghirardelli squares in San Francisco. Each has its own story. It's amazing how a single food can connect so many places and memories.
Absolutely. And speaking of stories, chocolate isn't just for eating. People have gotten creative. I've seen chocolate sculptures, like a full Eiffel Tower made entirely of chocolate. It's wild what chocolatiers can pull off.
No kidding. The artistry is on a whole other level. I read about a chocolatier in Belgium who crafted a life-size chocolate gorilla. Talk about thinking outside the chocolate box. But there's so much more to chocolate than meets the eye, right?
Definitely. And that brings us to a curious question from Valentina, who wants to know, why can't dogs eat chocolate? Let's dive into the science behind that. Valentina, thanks for sending in such a great question. I mean, dogs share our homes and sometimes even our snacks. But when it comes to chocolate, the answer is a firm no. But why is that, really?
That's something a lot of people wonder about. It's funny dogs can do so many things we do, like play fetch or ride in cars, but when it comes to chocolate, they're strictly on the no-fly list. It's not just about the mess, either. It's a real health issue.
And it's not like dogs are picky eaters. If you leave chocolate out, chances are your pup will try to sneak a bite. But even a small amount can be dangerous, and that's what surprises most people.
Exactly, and the reason lies in chemistry and biology. But before we get all Breaking Bad with cocoa beans, let's look at how different animals handle foods differently.
Let's zoom out for a second. Think about koalas. They munch eucalyptus leaves all day, which would actually poison a deer or a fox. Nature's menu is weirdly specific.
Absolutely! And don't forget about possums. They can chow down on venomous snakes like rattlesnakes and pit vipers, no problem. Meanwhile, a dog or a human eating that would be in serious trouble. It's all about what their bodies can handle.
Right. And humans? We're the oddballs who can eat chocolate all day, provided we don't mind a sugar rush. But for dogs, chocolate is a big hazard, not because they're picky, but because their bodies just aren't equipped for it.
It's a great reminder that one species' treat is another's poison, and that's true for chocolate too. Let's get into what happens inside a dog's body when they eat it.
So, let's picture this. Your dog snags a chocolate chip cookie off the counter. Inside, things start moving fast, literally. Their heart rate climbs, and all their major organs are suddenly working overtime.
Yeah, it's like flipping the turbo switch on an engine not built for speed. The dog's heart begins to race, which can lead to tremors, vomiting, or even seizures. Dogs can't just walk it off. A trip to the vet is usually in order.
And the wild part? Even a little chocolate can kick off this chain reaction. Dark chocolate is especially dangerous because it packs more of the harmful chemicals per bite.
It's a scary thought, especially when you realize that dogs don't know chocolate is bad for them. They trust us to keep them safe, which makes this a big responsibility for pet owners.
So, where does all this trouble start? With the humble cocoa bean the main ingredient in chocolate, it gives us that rich, delicious flavor, but also contains substances that can spell disaster for dogs.
Right. Those substances are called methylxanthine, specifically theobromine and a bit of caffeine. To us, they're mild stimulants, like what you get in a cup of coffee. But for dogs, it's a whole different ballgame.
If you think about it, it's like how some people can handle spicy food and others can't. Our bodies break down these chemicals quickly, but dogs? Not so much. That's why the cocoa bean is both a treat and a threat.
And the darker the chocolate, the more theobromine it contains. Baker's chocolate is basically a toxic concentrate for dogs, while white chocolate, which has very little cocoa, is less risky but still not safe.
Let's dig into the science a bit. When humans eat chocolate, our livers break down theobromine and caffeine super fast, so fast, we barely notice. That's why we can eat a whole bar and just feel a mild buzz.
But for dogs, it's a slow process. Their bodies metabolize theobromine about 5 times slower than ours. So those chemicals stick around, building up to dangerous levels and overworking their organs.
That difference in breakdown speed is everything. It's almost like comparing a sports car to a bicycle. In a race, the sports car, humans, finishes the job quickly, while the bicycle, dogs, gets overwhelmed just trying to keep up.
That's a great analogy, and it's why even a small amount of chocolate can be dangerous to dogs, especially smaller breeds who have less body mass to dilute the toxins.
So, if your dog does get into the chocolate stash, what should you watch for? Classic signs include vomiting, diarrhea, rapid breathing, and a racing heart. Sometimes you'll see restlessness or muscle tremors too.
Exactly. In severe cases, it can escalate to seizures or even heart failure. According to the ASPCA, chocolate toxicity is one of the top 10 reasons for emergency vet visits in the U.S. every year.
That's a sobering stat. The good news is, if you get your dog medical help quickly, most recover fully. But it's definitely a situation where you don't want to wait and see.
A quick call to your vet or animal poison control can make all the difference. When in doubt, it's always better to overreact than risk your pup's health.
Now, here's a twist: dogs get all the attention when it comes to chocolate poisoning. But what about other pets?
Great point. Interestingly, cats are also sensitive to theobromine, but they rarely eat chocolate because they can't taste sweetness. Birds, rats, and ferrets are at risk too, so chocolate should be off limits to pretty much all pets.
It's wild how taste can play a protective role. Since cats ignore chocolate, they dodge a bullet. But for dogs who'll eat anything, it's game over if we're not careful.
That's why education is so important. Every pet owner should know which human treats are safe and which are potentially deadly.
Let's have some fun. Imagine a world where dogs could safely eat chocolate. Would we have dog-friendly chocolate shops on every corner?
I love it. Picture pups lining up for chocolate bones and chocolate chip cookies at the dog park. Maybe even canine chocolate festivals with doggy dessert competitions just like for humans.
That sounds adorable and chaotic. But honestly, it's a reminder that nature has its own rules. For now, we'll have to stick with carob-based treats for our furry friends.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe one day food scientists will invent a safe, chocolate-like treat for dogs. Until then, chocolate remains a strictly human pleasure.
So, to sum it up, Chocolate is delicious for us, but dangerous for dogs because their bodies can't process certain chemicals in cocoa. The safest move? Keep chocolate out of Paw's reach and opt for pet-friendly treats.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating how something as simple as a candy bar can reveal so much about biology, chemistry, and the importance of responsible pet ownership. Plus, there's always more to learn, like, who knew koalas could eat eucalyptus but not deer?
That's what makes curiosity so much fun. Thanks to Valentina for sparking this discussion, and to everyone listening, keep those questions coming. You never know what mystery we'll solve next.
Stay curious, stay safe, and remember, enjoy your chocolate but keep it for human mouths only.